welcome to Rokk Around the Clock. Daily cloud gaming news live at the same time, Monday to Friday. But first, if you're new to the show, please subscribe and hit the bell. If you'd like to support the channel, why not hit the join button on the channel homepage and become a member of Team Rokk. Hello, how are you? How are you, folks? Good to see you. It's the middle of the week. It's the Wednesday. I was watching I think it was a podcast or a show the other day. They were talking about what each of the different days of the week mean. And apparently it goes back to old Germanic kind of Celtics kind of people. And it's like Woden's Day and Thor's Day. They're all like the old kind of Viking gods. But one of them, I forget which it was, it may have been Friday, was Freya's Day, which I believe was the mother or the sister of Thor. It's fascinating. And that's what it's all about. I must look it up and actually tell you some facts, but it's kind of right in the right place and all that stuff. How are you guys? Good to see so many of you. Thank you so much for popping in on this middle of the week. Of course, it's lunchtime on the east coast of America. It's morning, kind of just after breakfast time on the west coast. It's heading towards dinner time in Europe. So everyone's kind of, involved in food, except for me. Let's see who we have in our wide and wonderful world of chit-chat. Right, who we got here? We got Granite T-Rock popping in there just in time for lunch. Good to see you, my friend. And I spotted young John, Four Scars Gaming. He sneaked in there as well. There he is. Good to see you, John. Thank you so much, my friend. Pedder, how are you, buddy? Thank you for the shout out in the Black Nut article the other day. I had a bit of a bad experience with Black Nut yesterday, guys. I'll talk about that in a second. Young fans of gamers, how are you, Brandon? Thanks. Oh, look, have you spotted? I've got my mummy-made fingerless gloves because it's freaking cold in this little shed. It looks nice and sunny and there's bright lights and stuff, but trust me, and I've even got me big old I think this is a Danish flag here. It's certainly one of the Nordic countries, but this is a proper sheep. It's gorgeous and warm. Ray's in here. Nothing wrong with his black nuts. Oh dear. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you for the little lovely emojis. David Wilson, howdy cloudies. That's very much David's catchphrase, and a good one to have as well. I may just add in there. Rock's here. Good to see you, dude. Thank God you're here, pal. Simply Pawned, young William. Good morning, Rock and chat. Hope all you lovelies are having a most excellent day. Yeah, I met an old friend for a coffee this afternoon. He's a solicitor. He's kind of taking a bit of a sabbatical at the moment, which is cool. So it was lovely to see him. Haven't seen him physically since before lockdown. So yeah, he's a good dude. Thank you, Ray. Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much, dude. Winstar here. How are you, bud? Thank you for popping in. Let's have a look over here. How many we got here? We got 19 piling in. This is awesome news. Phipps, good to see you. Thank you. Hey. Hello, mate. Oh, hello, mate. I loves John. We loves each other. We got kind of a like a Commonwealth bromance going on. It's like from there's John out on the eastern coast of Canada, and I'm on the southwestern coast of the UK, and it's a bit like that. What was that film called with the mice? Was it American Tail? But it was Tale, and it was somewhere out there. If dreams can see us through, and it's like me and John are the mice. You see, it's lovely, isn't it? It's exactly how it works. Freya was Odin's wife, thank you, my friend, but don't think she's actually Thor's mother. She may not have been. I just remember that it was Freya Day and that it was somebody's wife, sister, auntie. So that was all good. Norwegian, thank you, Phipps. I knew it was Nordic. I just, again, you know what, my partial memory, partial facts, they're in there. They just need embellishing. So whatever I say, take it about 60%, and then the other 40%, go and Google it and do the joined up stuff. Rockmurph, next year I'm dressing up as my Stadia Pro account for Halloween. What's wrong with this year? You got a couple of weeks to get it all sorted. Be more relevant as well. Ray's putting all my links in the chat. Thank you, dude. Okay, Rokk. And chat, the cowboy is here. Oh, man. Brilliant. Michael, how are you? Good to see you, my friend. Michael is waiting for his Steam Deck. Everybody's got Steam Decks coming, haven't they? It's like the must-have gadget for this year. I tried to get it so that xCloud and GeForce Now would output at 4K. Well, actually 1440, but can't do it. And I think what it is, I've been digging around. I think it's because underlying is Linux. So they haven't set the Linux versions of Chrome and Bing, or Edge, sorry, to recognize the resolution. So they export at 1080p. I can't get them to go any higher, which is okay because the device is only 720p, but the screen's so small it doesn't matter. But, you know, when you connect it to a TV, that's what I was trying to achieve, get the higher res. So I've kind of found the limits there, but it's still great. Still love it. Top tip. Williams Wangers. If you've missed Williams Wangers on a Tuesday, go and check out Rock Show. He does the most amazing wangers, which it's kind of top tips, pro tips from William, because he's the man. He is the fella. Never Say Never. Great film. Yes. Never Say Never. Never Say Never. I'm trying to think what the music was from that Bond, because I relate more to the music from all the various Bond movies than I do the stories. The stories go over my head. Doesn't matter which Bond movie I watch. It all kind of, why is he in Morocco? And how did he get to Paris? It goes right over my head. Cowboy Rock, I remember the time you sang for me and I showed my son. He was blown away. Oh, bless you, my friend. Thank you. I don't do it very often. Fievel, that was it. That was the name of the mouse. Yes, Fievel. That's a lovely little film, isn't it? It's a cute little film. I love that little song. It's so sweet. Thank you, Anne. That's very kind of you, my friend. Denmark, just without the blue. Yes, of course, Phibs. You're absolutely right. Steamy decks all around. Yes. Steak deck. Oh, look, Pedder's up for a steak deck. I can just about afford Steam. Ray, hit that thumbs up for it. Oh, bless you, my friend. Thank you, dude. Lost my art. No when I said never, say never, I was talking about American Tail. Ah, right. That wasn't a Bond movie, was it? Okay, fan cookie. So listen, what we got lined up today, interesting. We've got some news, and I've also dug up some articles as well, some cloud gaming articles, which we'll have a quick look at. Pedder, you might want to pay attention to these, actually. There's some good source material in these, just opinion pieces more than anything. And then, after we've done the Twitter bookmarks, I've got Boostroid lined up, guys. So I thought today we'll have a look at Boostroid. So we've done, what have we done? We've done Black Nut, or as I prefer to call it, Nuit Noire. So we did Black Nut. We did, what else did we do? We've done GeForce Now, I think, haven't we? I think we covered off GeForce and Black Nut. So I want to do Boostroid. I want to get xCloud in the mix. Although, to be fair, I think most of you know what that's all about. Plus, potentially PS Plus Premium, because a lot of people discount the old PlayStation Cloud offering, but I'm here to tell you, you shouldn't discount it. It's amazing. So we'll get those two done this week. Today, Boostroid. Tomorrow, we'll probably do the PlayStation. I wish I could do Amazon Luna, guys, but I don't want to go via VPSs and sign-ups and stuff and, you know, maybe get banned or something. I don't want to be doing all that. Friday, we're going to have our big draw, which we'll talk about in a second. So then we'll kick over to Monday when we'll have a look probably at xCloud. So much to look at, so much to talk about. Actually, I tell you what, fellas, let me kick over to the laptop. Larry, let's get over to Larry. Make sure all the audio's working. I must learn not to talk over the stinger. So let's have a quick look at the giveaway this week. I didn't announce it yesterday on Rokk Show because I wanted to get confirmation from our good friends at Nvidia, which I got after the show, and that is that I have managed to get a 3080 tier account for you guys for the winner to try out. So this is so exciting. And then I'm going to augment that with a copy of Steel Rising for Steam, which I literally completed today, by the way. I finished it earlier. That's a tough game, but it's RTX, so it's got ray tracing and, dynamic shadows and all the gorgeous stuff that you get to experience with the 3080. So that's what you're going to be getting this week, guys. If you enter the draw, you're going to get the 3080, I think, for 90 days. So the priorities that I gave away last week, I think, were for 60 days. So you're going to get 3080 for 3 months. Plus Steel Rising, which if you play it, you'll get through it. I had to go with mega easy mode because otherwise it's a bit of a rogue, to be honest, a bit roguey. So Steel Rising. Who said that? It disappeared off my screen. What's it about? It's a really cool game. It's by a French independent studio, but I would put it up at the kind of AA, almost AAA. Beautiful graphics. If you check out my Twitch channel, I actually streamed last night. I did about an hour and a half, and I did 2 or 3 hours of it today. So you can actually get to see me all the way through to completion. I'll probably drag that across to this channel at some point. The only reason that it's on Twitch is because I played the GeForce Now on my Shield TV Pro, and it only broadcasts to Twitch. So I've got to stream to Twitch and then grab the files and pull them over to YouTube. There are ways that you can get around that, but it's kind of not as good. So anyway, you play this kind of, it's back in the time of the French Revolution. So just before the French Revolution, so you got Marie Antoinette and King Louis the 16th, I think it was, in the Palace of Versailles. But there's this kind of weird steampunk robot thing going on. So they've invented these automata, these robots, and they've started to take over the whole area. And you are a robot yourself, this one, called Aegis, and you have to go around and follow the story. It's quite a convoluted story with lots of side missions. It's an RPG, single player. Third person looking, and you kind of battle with all these robots and these huge end of level bosses, and there's loads of unique weapons that you can find in chests and upgrade them. It's just a cool game, brilliant game, and definitely a good one to win with this prize. All you got to do, guys, you already subscribe, because I know this, because you can't chat unless you're a subscriber, but you've also got to leave a comment on this show, any show from this week, quite honestly. Follow me on Twitter, which you probably already do. Send me a DM to confirm those steps are done, and then watch Friday's show. But don't forget, if you are a Team Rokk member, and there's 50 of you, you automatically get added anyway, so you don't have to do a thing, guys. You're already in the draw. I take your names, I add them to the wheel of winning, or whatever I call it these days, and we'll spin it on Friday, and the winner will get, I've already got the code, by the way, so the minute the winner wins, I can get them the 3080 code for the weekend, so you can start playing that top-end PC gaming experience, 4K 60, 1440 120, even 1600 120 if you've got one of those newfangled Chromebooks. It's just stunning. And this is true. The latency on the 3080 is less than a Series X underneath your television. I don't know how they do it, guys, but they do it. It's an absolute fact. So there you go. Ray says, I'm now going to sit back, eat my toast, drink coffee and watch Rokk. Oh, mate, I'd love a bit of toast. Could you save us a crumb? I like the crust. Some people don't like the crust. I love the crust. Dip it in a bit of butter. Dip the crust in your coffee, Ray. That's what you want, mate. Mugen live. Guten Abend, my friend. Mein Freund. Herr. I think that's right. My apologies. I'm trying. That's all I can say. So, Lee's in the house. How are you, Lee? Good to see you, my friend. Thank you so much for popping in. Good to see you, dude. Let's see. Let's go to the news. So that's the one you want to join. Do all them things. If you're already a subscriber, that's fine. Leave a message. Send me a DM. It's important that you DM me because that's the only way that I know who has entered. Because otherwise I've got to go around all the shows and I will do spot checks. I don't think you get away with it. Guten Abend, mein Freund. I wasn't far off, was I? I thought that was quite good. Guten Abend, mein Freund. I love German. Because, you know, the thing I love about German, the English is based on ancient Germanic anyway. So we all kind of speak from the same root. But whenever you listen to German people talk, it sounds like an English person talking a different language. That's the thing I love about the German language. Ant says, I'm currently making Easy Mac in the microwave at work as I listen to Rokk on our internet. Oh no, is it, mate? So you got me on your phone. I'm assuming Easy Mac is what, mac and cheese, maybe in a pot, one of those little plastic pots, that kind of a thing. Sounds good. Love the sound of that. Ron's already in with his raffle. Bless him. I love me I tell you, I love Ron. He's just my humour. He's my humour. Right, let's get back to the news. Our good friends at Cloud Dosage have got pretty much all of the items that I was going to cover off anyway, so we'll just park ourselves here. First up, CD Projekt Red, who of course are Cyberpunk 2077 developers. They have now posted an article telling you how you can migrate your progress from Cyberpunk 2077 across to the PC, so you won't lose your progress. It's a fairly simple, it's kind of 10-step, 9-step process. So if you check out our friends over at Cloud Dosage, they've got the full SP down there, but it all relies on this takeout. Google Takeout, which, as you may or may not know, is where all of your saves have always been stored for Stadia. So you can just go to Google Takeout, takeout.google.com as it shows, and you can choose your Stadia account because everything you've got connected with Google is all in there. And you can download the various data from whatever they collect on you to your Stadia saves, all sorts. Your photos even from your photo library, all of it's there. So you just find Stadia in the list, download it. The thing is, it then comes, of course, as these bunch of files that you think, well, what do I do with this stuff? So these guys talk about what you do to get that up into the cloud. I don't actually have Cyberpunk on Steam. I'm in two minds whether to get it or not because, as you know, I've never been a massive fan of the game. It's just never really gripped me. I'm even struggling at the last thing now. But then again, they're going to give us our money back for all these games. So I'm in two minds. I might do. I don't know yet. I may not. It may turn up anyway on one of the cloud gaming services in the not too distant future. And Lee says, let's hope Rockstar follows suit. Yeah, with Red Dead. A lot of people asking for that, Lee, aren't they? I assume, and again, I don't know, but if you've grabbed your saves for Red Dead or any other game, and you have it installed on your local PC, then you should be able to carry on. But that's not much use for your online experience, is it? For Red Dead Online, which I know most of the guys, Lee and all the other guys, William and Ray and so on, David, most of those guys were into Red Dead Online. I never got into it. I actually bought, I already own Red Dead, and I saw Lee and the gang having so much fun in it on Stadia that I paid for it again, and I never actually used it. I didn't even bother to play it much. So that's a good point, actually. I hadn't thought of that. I've already got it on PlayStation, so I'm not worried. Forgot. Thank you. David, I think David was already in a Team Rokk member. I think he's just renewed. So thank you so much for that, David. Really appreciate it, my friend. It's amazing. Everybody that's a Team Rokk member is just absolutely amazing. So there you go. That was a good bit of news. Evil. Ray had a look at this one. We had a look at this one. Ray and the gang, we had a look at this one last night on Rokk Show. So this is now available on Xbox Cloud Gaming, as are a few other games. But if you check out the end of Rokk Show last night, where Ray's news section is to look at games that have gone live that day and in the coming week. So we try and have a quick look and all the cloud gaming stuff coming up. So we've got to come up with a name for it as well, because Ray's not up for Ray's crystal balls. I don't know why, but we'll come up with one. This was kind of interesting, I think, but basically if you, what used to be, I think, the Oculus is now called the Meta Quest, VR and Xbox Cloud Gaming. I suppose it is interesting. You can now play Xbox Cloud Gaming with this thing on. I have no idea what the experience is like, of course. I don't have one for a start. I don't even know if it's official or whether someone has just set it up in there. Xbox Cloud Gaming currently has the ball in the cloud gaming space. Yeah, there's no two ways about it. They are dominating right now. It's certainly running with it. Not only did the service just recently get launched on Samsung TVs, and just yesterday teased a prototype standalone streaming device. Yes, of course, Mr. Spencer and his little box on the shelf. But they're back in the news today with the announcement the service is coming to the Meta Quest line of VR devices. The announcement was made at Meta's Facebook's. I don't, honestly, not totally sure why they decided to rebrand. Facebook became one of those kind of de facto words like Google. It's like Google saying, yeah, we're going to change our name to Digit. And then people, have you digited it? It's like, why do it? You're already a thing. But Meta's the parent company, so anyway, it's what it is. The games will, of course, be 2D, but so basically what they're saying, is that you're not suddenly going to get a VR experience in those games, because right now there are no VR games in that setup. I don't even think there are with the PS Plus Premium either. In fact, I don't think anybody's doing 3D VR via the cloud, although technically it's possible, and I do understand that Stadia were playing with it, which is another shame. The experience mimics that of being in a movie theatre. In case you can't, I don't see, for me it would be like playing at less than 1080p. I suppose there's the convenience, and if you've got one, well, and you've got an account, why wouldn't you do it? In case you're counting, Xbox Cloud Gaming is now officially on their consoles, anything with a browser, mobile phones, smart TVs, and now VR headsets. Yeah, it's pretty cool. But don't forget, Sony are bringing out their Sony VR 2 headsets soon. Technically, it is mind-blowing. I've seen some reviews, some early reviews of it, and it's like 4K in both eyes, and just stunning. There's lots of new devices. There's one called, I think it's called the N, for like Nvidia, but Nreal, and again, it has a really high density of pixels, but it's like a pair of glasses, like sunglasses. So you're looking through, so you get a kind of AR experience, and you can literally hook it into your console or hook it into a Steam Deck, and then play the games with it sat on your lap. And the thing with these big VR things is they're massive. But once they're on your head, with the new Sony, there's a button you can press and it will pass through a camera, so you can see the world through what you're playing. But these Nreal glasses look amazing, and they're not too expensive either. So many folk jumping in. Great to see you all. Let's have a little look. We got Vet. How are you, Vet? Good to see you, my friend. I hope you're feeling okay today. Vet's going to try it. Which one? I don't know. I killed off time stamps for the chat. Otherwise, I could see when all of these messages popped in. Small boxes can be deceiving, says William. Oh dear, what have I done? I've spawned my children. They're all into double entendres and naughtiness. Stu is in the house. How are you, bro? Good to see you. And Barkley as well. How are you, my friend? Guten Abend, mein Freund. Good to see you. Thank you so much. VR movie theatre. Yeah, it would be fun to try it out for sure. Microsoft have also announced that not only are they bringing Xbox Cloud Gaming to the Quest, they're also bringing Office and Windows. Why would you want to do a spreadsheet with a VR headset on? Why would you be doing this? That's a daft thing. How much do you think the PSVR 2? Yeah, I haven't seen prices anywhere on this, and I have asked. See, that got me fingerless gloves on. My guess is that it cannot be more than the VR 1. and I forget, but I think that was about $350. So again, I think they subsidized it from the sale of games. So, kind of keeping you within the environment. Now, what's interesting is, my understanding is that they could have released it as a standalone unit, but it has an umbilical cord that connects you still to the PlayStation. And of course, the reason for doing that is you need to buy a PS5. You see where they go. So they're thinking, okay, let's take $10 from the PS5, let's take $5 from the first game you buy, and another $5 from the second game you buy, and there's $20 which will knock off the price, and that's how we subsidize it. So my guess is it's going to be somewhere around there. Stuart enjoyed his Quest 2, but the motion sickness did me right and had to return it. Yeah, I started off fine with the Sony. I've still got it here. And then as time went on, I started to get worse and worse with it, Stu. And in the end, I was getting a real Pavlovian sense. I was thinking, should I put it on? And I would start to feel queasy even before I'd put it on. And then what really made me queasy was I was playing a game and I thought, what's that? I took it off and there was smoke coming out the power brick. So I put it in a bag, wanted to cool down, and that was never played again. How does Rokk keep those fingers warm? Gloves! I tell you, mate, these are so cozy. My mummy made these, and or she gave them to me for Christmas. But they're really warm. They're toasty now, but it was cold earlier. And yeah, but it's all right now. But it's all right now. Oh no! What? Oh dear. VetCloud Gaming and Rokk Show best. And there's I. Look at that. It's brilliant having just the I for a name. How amazing. Anyway, so that's all coming up. And, if you've got one, get it. If you don't. Simple as that. What else? Of course, the big news this week in terms of, wow, this upset so many people. Ill-timed, maybe, but I guess, to be fair, what is it you're talking about, Rokk? Yeah, the cloud. So a new range of high-end Chromebooks were announced, which basically they are being sold as cloud gaming Chromebooks. So they're really high-res monitors, and by that I mean about 1600 DPI, roughly about 1440, give or take. Not quite 4K, a little bit higher than 1440. But they will run at 120 hertz, 120 frames per second. The two numbers are interchangeable. Some of them flip around, so you've got a tablet, Asus. Some of them have that beautiful kind of lit keyboard going on. But all of them come pre-installed with a trial of, you guessed it, GeForce Now 3080 out of the box, pre-installed. Fire it up, you're in. And Amazon Luna, I believe, and I believe xCloud. Now, of course, the sad thing is why not Stadia? And this isn't something that happened overnight, by the way. This has been a thing that's been going on for a while. I think two things. One is the demise of Stadia had nothing to do with Stadia as a platform. I know there are instances of people saying that's not the case. I still believe it was an accounting decision, and I believe that they have been trying to justify it on the back of traction, but I don't think that's the issue here. Look, we talked yesterday on the Rokk Show, I believe, may even have been on this show the day before, about how cloud gaming services loses them, it was on Rokk Show, loses them almost $1 billion a year. They don't make any profit yet from cloud gaming services, and yet it's their second largest revenue generator, and they're fully behind it for as long as it takes. So that's not what this is about. This is about how do we get rid of a few little bits and pieces to try and show our shareholders that we're trying to, save them money. So I'm absolutely 100% convinced Stadia was going to be on this device. It probably would have been the headline cloud gaming offering. Obviously, it's no longer. They've quickly kicked about with the marketing, slapped some screens of games on here. And it's what it's going to be. But you can't knock the fact these look amazing. And of course, they have to market them now. As much as it feels like, oh, but we're still in mourning. They've got to get these out there now for the holidays and, get them out into the marketplace. They're launching in America initially. They'll probably be around the world by Christmas. So now is their time, unfortunately. And that will be by negotiation and agreement with all the various services as well. They do look pretty darn cool. When I looked at a few of them, they were $650. I think someone said they start at $400. I have a Chromebook, one of the Asus ones that flips around. It's mid-range, has a 1080p screen. Plays GeForce beautifully, by the way, at 1080p. And I think I paid about $350 for that one. So, for an extra $100, you've got one heck of a top-end gaming rig with 3080. Stunning. So yeah, I'm quite looking forward to this. And also, again, it's a further commitment. Google, they may not be behind Stadia, but they're clearly looking, as everybody else is as well, that cloud gaming is the future. They've just decided, for whatever reason, to save a few quid. It's a shame. We can argue the toss for years. We'll never know the full story. That's just the way it is. Some things will never change. United we stand. David, how are you, my friend? Thanks for popping in, brother. Hope you're keeping well. Evening, Rokk. Evening to you, my friend. Chariot Man. Where's the Chariot Man pop in? There he is. Hey, Chariot. What up, Rokk and Chat? How you getting on with your Steam Deck, buddy? Everybody's loving their Steam Deck. Gotta love a Steam Deck. What else we got? Oh, look at the time. We need to count because I want to have a look at Boostroid with you guys. So that was that. Destiny 2, well, we've always had cross-save in Destiny. The article is basically just saying if you've never played on another platform with your Stadia account, this is how you can get cross-save to work and activate it, and you're good to go. The thing that I'm waiting to see, though, and it isn't covered in this article, and I've not heard Bungie mention it, is not the cross-save. That's easy. That process is already out there. It's very easy to do. Just go to the website, follow the links. That's okay. But what about your seasons that you bought? Your deluxe versions with all your various bits and pieces. Because if you go across to... So I've got Destiny on Stadia, on PC, on Xbox, and on PlayStation. So I've enabled it on Steam and all these places, okay. But if I bought, as I have done, one of the seasons on Steam and one of the seasons on PlayStation and one of the seasons on Stadia, how do I get the Stadia seasons to these other places? And this is going to be a classic, for Rudigs and the guys that do all their... And look at this, as if by magic. Were you watching and you just heard me talking Destiny, my friend? But I'm thinking about for Rudigs, for example, and, the fact that they've been playing... I think, Rudigs, I'm right in saying you've only played Destiny on Stadia, am I not right? So he's got all the seasons and all of that stuff. And it's one thing to be able to push all your saves elsewhere, but you go and suddenly play on Steam or PlayStation, and you can't get access to all the old seasons and all the old missions that were season locked. And that's the thing. That is the thing that I'm looking forward to somebody solving, because that's what Bungie need to do. I mean, I know they could argue, possibly rightly, actually, if I think about this. You know what? Why should we? Because you're getting that money back from Stadia, so just go and buy the seasons elsewhere. That's a fair point, actually. That is a fair point. And I think maybe that's going to be the decision from most developers and publishers, in as much as here's how you get your saves up into a game that you've just bought again, with the money that Stadia gave you, but we ain't giving you the game again. And that makes a load of sense to me. Of course, if you've got, I'm trying to think, Ubisoft Plus, for example. So I've got Ubisoft Plus, which has Assassin's Creed, Odyssey, and Origins, and so on. Breakpoint, Division 2, but I actually bought all those games before my Ubisoft Plus subscription. And none of the saves from those games are cloud-based, so they were never built into Ubisoft Connect, which then became Ubisoft Plus. So I still don't know how I'm going to get my saves to there. I suspect it's to do with takeout.google.com. I just need to give it some... To be honest, my head's not worrying about it until end of December. And then I'll start, maybe over Christmas, when I've got some time off, I'll have a look and see. But I'm not worried about it now. Stadia still works. It's all good. Rudigs, I've only played Destiny 2 on Stadia. Yep, cross-save is fine, but I need cross-DLC saves, is what I'm saying. I like GFN, but I need to rebuy everything. Yeah, and this is my point, really. They're giving you money, so you can't really use the excuse of I can't afford it, because all that money's coming back. You have to rebuy them, don't you? So I guess what you need to do, like you've just said, I just bought $150 Lightfall DLC in September on Stadia, and now I'll never be able to play that DLC as it comes out in Feb. So I need to rebuy it. Yeah, so you know what you've spent, and you can go back into Stadia and see what you've spent on your various games. I saw Raging Jacob do this the other day. I thought it was quite clever. So he went through his long list of stuff he bought, and he was like, okay, what do I want to buy again? Because some of this stuff, you've bought it, you've played it, you're not worried. Or you bought it, you played it a bit, you didn't like it. So go, yep, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Buy them. Not now, wait till you get your money. You're going to get your money in time. When you've got the cash, say, right, that one, the DLC for that one, Red Dead, then go and buy it again. And fair shout to Stadia, they're giving you that money. One of my regrets, says Anne, is with Stadia is, I wish I played the Destiny 2 Shadowkeep DLC that was included with Pro. Yeah, back in the early days, you got all that stuff, didn't you? I cancelled Pro and I planned on playing it. Oh, that's a shame, mate. Rock's got his Fagin gloves. I know, you got to pick a pocket or two, boys. It's so cold in here, Dave. To be honest, they're warm now. I can take them off. But you've got to imagine, I'm in my little converted garage, which is nicely, tastefully done, but I was too skinflinty to have heating put in, because at the time, I didn't think we'd need it. And now when I'm out here, and even though it's 14, 15 degrees out there, it's so cold. Anyway, look, there they are. There's the real hands of Rock. Ray says, I got Resident Evil 8 on PS5. Yes, well, I bought Village on Steam, I think because it was cheaper with the old CD keys. So a lot of the games I've got on that basis anyway. Anyway, look, time is marching on. We've got to go and look at Boostroid. I think that's it. Yep, quickly. I'm going to rattle through these last things and we're getting into Boostroid. This one, sorry, I've got something in my eye. Oh, dear. I think it might be a pupil. There's a whole school going on in my head. So this is the new GameSir X2 Pro for Xbox Cloud Gaming. So this is interesting. 20% off for Prime Day. I wasn't familiar with this, but it is one of your handheld jobbies specifically designed for Xbox Cloud Gaming. Everybody, like, come on, even them, they're calling it xCloud again. 80 quid. That's a heck of a lot cheaper. Look at this. $79.99 at Amazon. $65 if you can get that price. That's pretty good. So it looks quite good, doesn't it? Cheaper than a Steam Deck. My point to all this is, if you're not someone who has a Steam library of PC stuff, and you're just essentially been playing your Stadia, for example, maybe Amazon Luna, then but you love the idea of this whole handheld remote gaming thing. To be honest, you don't need a Steam Deck because it's overkill. It's a PC handheld, right? So unless you're playing PC games, you don't need it. Something like this, that's 80 quid. Let's go and have a quick look at Amazon, see what we got. $63.99, guys. What? I didn't swear. That was flip. Do you know what? I might even just buy this anyway. Let's look at this. What's it got? Right, it's an Android, obviously. It's pretty... Oh, you put your phone in it, I think. Is it one of those? Ah, yes. You put your Android phone in. Sorry, I'm getting all excited. For xCloud, Stadia, Luna, Diablo. But again, perfect. All you want, you've got a, if you've got a half decent, like I've got a little Android S20, right? That's all you need. It's 120 frames per second. It will run a decent rate. It will do 4K if you want to chew your battery up. You don't need it, guys. 720 on a screen that big's perfect. Slap it in one of these for $63.99. You've got all your xCloud buttons. You've got your GeForce, your PC buttons, and if you're playing on a controller there, slap in your account on your phone. It's officially licensed by Xbox, which doesn't mean a damn thing. It just basically means it's got their logo on, and it's got the Xbox button. But that's not bad, though, is it? 64 quid. So yeah, you're basically buying that thing around the outside of your phone. Your phone slips inside, like the old Kishi or whatever it's called. What is Ant saying? Sorry, Ant. No. You're all the way down here now. Sorry, guys. Where are we? Oh, yeah. Stu and... Oh, Ant, I just saw your lovely message. Where's it gone? It's disappeared. Oh, Rokk, there's a really good mobile controller that hooks to any size phone called MGX Pro. How much is it? Is it as good as this? This looks... I mean, I'm not being funny, but for $63.99, like a little Vita. That is not... That is not bad. Anyway, what we got on the back here? What's this? I don't know what that is. Instantly mappable back buttons. Look at that. It's got the Alps joysticks. That sounds good. It's got some kind of skiing thing. Hall effect analog triggers. 3 million clicks. I mean, it looks pretty good, doesn't it? I don't know. But that's not a bad old price. There you go. It's the best. And I tried them. Have you tried this one, Ant? See, JJ. Hey, JJ. JJ says the old Kishis are great. Yeah, I know you've got a Kishi, mate, haven't you? It's funny, I was never really into this whole concept. And now I've got my Steam Deck. I'm quite excited. Anyway, let's crack on. That was that. This is this. This is a little article. I'm going to run out of time, so I'm just not even going to bother with these. It's an interesting article on Stadia. It's actually a rehash of an article that the Yanis Weinbach, who was the CMO of Shadow, kicked this out a little while ago. They've rehashed it because why not? Stadia's disappeared. But when he first put this article out, I was very dismissive of what he had to say. But I have to say, in the shadow of Stadia being closed down, I'm a lot more sympathetic to what he said, which is basically the model was wrong. You had to buy games you already owned, and then they were locked into you only being able to enjoy the full experience by playing the subscription. I can take it on board now. At the time I was blind to it, and I thought, no, mate, it doesn't work that way. He does say, however, the experience was exemplary, which it absolutely is. There's a really interesting article here. This is thedrum.com, which is the marketing and advertising standard. Their magazine, now online. And there's a really interesting article from Riot Games CEO Mark Merrill on the future of cloud gaming. Again, check it out on the drum.com. Just Google Riot Games or future of cloud gaming. And he put some interesting points in, actually, about where cloud gaming is going. He absolutely believes that it's the future, no question. And he talks in some detail, particularly post Stadia. So definitely worth a look. We're going to skim past. I was going to read it, but we'll skim past it. You guys know all about this one. If you're late to the party, get this week's draw is a 3080, 3 months worth of 3080. So that is the card in their servers online. You can play top end 4K, 60 frames per second on a Shield Pro, or 1440 120 frames per second on a browser. Stunning piece of kit. Get that one for 3 months, plus I'll throw in a brand new copy of Steel Rising, which I completed this morning. It's a great game. The reason I'm throwing it in is it's RTX ready, so you can experience the whole ray tracing and dynamic lighting and all that stuff. So it's all good. That's coming up. Bookmarks. I will save these for tomorrow, guys, because we're going to run out of time. Let's get into Boostroid. Right. You can see it, yeah? We're all good? We can see Boostroid. Okay. So, I have had a Boostroid account for some time. That I asked them a while back if they would give me access to the platform so that I could review it for a standalone video. I never truthfully got around to doing it, but they gave me about 10 hours, and I've still got about 9 and something hours left. So I thought, well, I'm going to have a look at this. I did log in earlier to just make sure I got my head around things, but it's full HD, it's 1080, it's actually good quality 1080 as well, to be fair. And as you can see here, it's currently half price, €7.50, £6 something, about $7.50. I think we're seeing with Black Nut, they're doing a discount as well if you put Lost Stadium in as a redeem code. They're all trying to get the Lost Stadiums in there. So what do we have to do to add for the raffle, says Ant. Ant, my friend, very quickly, all you got to do is subscribe, which you already do. Leave a comment on any one of the videos that I have put out this week on any of the shows. Follow me on Twitter, which you do, and then DM me that you have done that. If you are already a subscriber, I would really love it if you would subscribe to my co-hosts on The Rokk Show or on Rokk Players. If it's not, I'm not going to go and check, but it would be lovely if you could. And then make sure that you DM me, because it's the only way that I'm going to know that you've done it. And then I put a little hashtag against everybody's name. It's easy for me to search. And then the draw will be Friday for one of those. If you're a Team Rokk member, 50 of you are, then you're automatically in. So it's all good. Thank you, William. Bless you, my friend. So here we go. $7.50. I think, to be honest with you, even at about £12, which is, I'm paying $12.99. I'm paying about the same price for Ubisoft Plus, right? Let's sign in. I'll show you how this works, because straight in, look at that. Love it when they do that. So very quickly, and by the way, I think it's a lovely interface. What we have up here, you have the usual hero banner. This is basically, games that they've recently added into the mix, which you may or may not. It works in a similar way to GeForce Now, in that you have to own the game before you can play it with their service. So imagine them more like a kind of game-focused Shadow Tech, Shadow PC service. You've got to have them games. Once you've got those games, you can play them here. Interestingly, they've also partnered with an outfit called Fanatical, which I'll click in. And through these guys, you can actually buy games, which is interesting. So it recognizes some of the games you may have had a look at, for example, and you can come in here and purchase them. So I don't know what the prices are like. I think you basically say activate a Steam key, activate an Epic key. So if you've already got a Steam key for a game, you can activate it in here as well. My head's not fully around some of the functionality of their site, so my apologies up front, guys. I'm fairly new to this, but I know Vet is in the house, and Vet certainly is your man as far as Boostroid goes. Johannes, thank you very much. Good to see you, my friend, and thank you for entering the competition. Good luck for Friday. Who else have we got here? William's telling me I'm amazing. Oh, bless you. Bless you, William. I love you. Levi Jenkins. Just finished work. Hope all is well. Bless you, my friend. Get on a blower, mate, will you? I want to get Division 2 out the way before they take it offline. So, my games. Okay, so this is taking games that I have activated in the system. It is not looking at my entire Steam library or my entire Epic library, because look at this. If I click on all platforms, more than just Steam, I have access to Battle.net, Epic Game Store, Gaijin, which I'm assuming is a Far East cloud game, Origin, Riot Games, Rockstar, wargaming.net. So we got quite a few. We can do these filters are okay, not so much for mine stuff, but if I go to library, clicking on library, this is a never-ending scroll of all of the games that they've currently got in their system. You see, it keeps on going, and it will keep on going. So You can filter down. You can do a little search up here if you want to. Try and find the game you're interested in. Glory to Ukraine. Yeah, absolutely. You can argue with that sentiment. That's what I say. So we've got Fortnite, for example. So let's have a look first and foremost. Oh, and install. This is definitely one to point out to you guys because it's quite important. So every month, every week, every so often, they'll say you can now play, for example, FIFA 23 on our platform. Now, the way this works is that they don't have it installed. You've got to say, I would like to upload my game, please. All right. And then they say, okay, but prove that you have a license for it. So it's pretty cool. Long press escape, searching for the nearest data center usually comes very quickly. I don't know why, but I seem to be very close to everybody's data centers here, which is quite nice. So they then say, right, okay, prove you own a copy of this game with a license. And then you go through this whole process of making it look as if you're uploading the game. So here we go, you see. So I've now got an Electronic Arts user agreement. Yep, just want to make sure you were still seeing that. So I know it's gone full screen, so you get some weird dodginess at the top. Apologies for that. So you have to go through all that malarkey and then accept it. Here you go, look at this. Game installation, files downloading. I don't know whether that is the case. I'm assuming they've got a blob hidden away somewhere on a server. They're just whacking it into a virtual streaming server for you. I don't own FIFA 23, so I'm not even going to bother to go beyond this. I do have an Origin or an EA account, though. I could play Sims, but we'll close out there, and then you just have to hold escape down for a second or two. It's pretty cool. There we go. We've gone back into here. And here at the top, look, you can switch on your microphone. You can paste from clipboard when you're logging in with passwords and stuff. You can choose different interface languages. And more importantly, you can get back to the main interface. So we'll end that session. Little smiley face. Go back home. So that's how these work. Now, once they're installed, I assume they will then appear in your library. Your My Games library. Here we go. So in the My Games library, as you can see, there was one, install and play Resident Evil Village. Now, I actually did do that earlier. I did install and play. So it's interesting that it's still saying to me, do I want to do that? And I wonder whether, and this could be one of the faults of the platform, one of the things you need to think about, because if you have to keep logging into Steam every time you want to play a game that is part of the install and play interface, that's going to get boring very, very quickly. But we'll have a quick look. As I said, I did actually activate that game earlier, played it for a little while, just to see how it worked. Here we go. So it's connecting to my Steam account now. Does it straight away go into the game? Another problem that I found with it was this. Took me through to my Steam library. Very nice. A few friends in there. Rockstar is the name. You can all friend me if you want to. I don't mind. But if you close all this stuff down, what do I do now? See, with GeForce Now, what happens is this gets minimized because they have to use. I don't think it's the problem of Boostroid or of GeForce Now. This is just how the Steam, the Valve guys, have programmed it to interact with third parties. So here I am, I'm sat here. What do I do? Well, it took me a while, but I had a look around, downloads, let's see if we got some downloads. No. In the end, I just went to my library and fired it up from there. But it's like, Resident Evil Village, and then I just played it. And here it's actually telling me that it's downloading some updates. Well, it did that earlier. So you see, for me, it's really not very friction-free. So I would say this is purely on the basis of this and not the library of games. The library of games are different. I don't know whether they have licenses for those or not, but they just work. And we'll have a look at that now. But the thing that I think you've got to think about is, if you're looking to play a specific game that is available to install and play on Boostroid but isn't on GeForce Now, then this service may be for you if it's that important that you need to play it in the cloud. But otherwise, you've got to go through this every time. And for me, that's a real game breaker. So let's break out from there, end that session. Adam says, yep, tends to happen with a lot of these services. I've only ever encountered GeForce Now and Boostroid that do that thing. So here's a game, Death Stranding, one of my favourite games of all time, guys. Loved it. I played this twice. So this is showing up as not an install and play, so it's already in the thing. Let's press play and see what happens. Let's hope it won't ask me to install or to sign in. Bum 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 bum. Mr. Urban World, how are you, my friend? All of the services Rokk is mentioning work on Quest 2 as well, so both can coexist. Do not worry, cloud gamers. Nice one, my friend. So here we go again. You see, we've gone into the old Steam, but nothing happened. Oh, here you go. It's downloading an update, so it's patching. What I don't know, and I think I've read this is the case, is unlike GeForce Now. So GeForce Now maintains a master copy of a game, which when it is updated with a patch, then spawns itself out across all their servers. So you're always playing with the latest patch. The downside of that is sometimes on patch day, the game can be offline for an hour or two or longer. But here, I've got a feeling with Boostroid, it's finished, but I've still got to now fire that game up, you see. I've still got to go back to the library. It ain't doing it automatically. And each time I go and play, it will insist on installing that patch until they one day update their... So you'd think, wouldn't you? Okay, so at this point, can I just fire up New World then? No, it says I've got to install it. And on this server's been configured to run Death Stranding, which I guess is under D. Let's get down there. Cyberpunk, Death Stranding, Director's Cut. See, it's saying I've got to purchase it. Well, I own it. I own it on Steam. So for me, I just kind of find this kind of thing frustrating. And that is my concern with this service. And this is what GeForce Now say, to be fair. I know I'm an ambassador of GeForce Now, but I hope you guys know by now that I will not try and sell you something that I don't think is right for you. Even if I'm an ambassador, even if they subsidize, and I do pay towards my GeForce Now account, they just top it up to get me to 3080, okay? But I would never tell you to go and buy a service, even if they were paying me, if I didn't think it was right for you. And my fear is that I love where this is headed, Boostroid. I love this interface. I love the idea of being able to buy games within it. You can do that with GeForce, but you have to go click the get button and it sends you through to Steam, which probably isn't a million miles away from what happens here. But for me, the fact that every time I go to play something, I have to sign in again, or I've got to dig around in the interface to find it. For me, that's a deal breaker. I don't know how you guys feel about that. It'll be interesting to find out from Vet whether he has to do this. I must go back. Maybe I'll just go and watch some of his recent streams and see how he does it. Good to see you, Martinez. Thank you, my Crow. Good to see you too, buddy. PyCon, how are you dudes? Anyway, look, that is pretty much as far as I got with it. I have played a game. I played Resident Evil Village. It played fine. 1080p, it looked good, 60 frames per second. I had no itches, no glitches. It ran okay, no latency. The audio was fine. I was just saying at the top of the show, though, I installed Black Nut last night on my Shield TV Pro and on my Chromecast with Google TV. So as an Android app to those devices, boy, oh boy, that was a horrible experience. The lag was real. It was only at 720 DPI and there was popping all the time with the audio. I thought it was me, so I just restarted the thing, but it carried on the same way. And I know that I think it was Crow. Someone else said they had the same experience, so they've got to really get that sorted. Rokk is saving my Steam Deck. Santa is bringing me this holiday season. Woohoo! Don't forget, guys, I'm going to let you go. Steel Rising, plus 3 months of RTX 3080 on GeForce Now. It is absolutely amazing. You can quite honestly get you just forget you're not on a PC. I absolutely love it. Everyone that's ever played 3080 has always said it's the top. It's the pinnacle. Even people like Jack to Slip, good friend, who was a massive Stadia, passionate Stadia guy. Since the demise of Stadia, he has wowed. For him, GeForce Now is there. They're the guys that are doing it. He just, xCloud are definitely bringing the games. You can't knock them for the day and date quality stuff. But, technology-wise, these guys are head and shoulders out there until, of course, Stadia starts to appear as a third-party service. Right, I need to let you lovely folk go. So, what day is it? Wednesday, yep. I think William is streaming tonight, or this afternoon, so I need to go and let you guys go. Definitely would be an issue for me, says Adam. GFN's gotten better over time. Used to have more issues. Yeah, it's great. I mean, they've been going quite some time now, haven't they? But I tell you something else. Being on the inside as an ambassador, I can honestly say, hand on heart, and I can say this now to you guys as well. I was an unofficial Stadia ambassador since Founders Day, right? And they never got in touch. I spoke to them once, which was, I managed to get in because Duncan organised a meeting very early on. And bless him, he got me into it. They didn't have a clue who I was. And they genuinely didn't. They never really got behind any of us. GeForce Now, the ambassadors program, these guys are amazing. When anyone goes to them with an issue, they're on it straight away. They man their Discord all the time. It's ridiculous. And they're really, really thankful as well and really grateful for anything that we do. So I just love the way these guys are going for it, and I just think they deserve to do well. Mr. Urban World also said, but here he is, the Gaming Cyborg. Ray, you had your chance to say anything you wanted to me yesterday when I went live briefly on Obi's channel. Oh, you guys and your wrestling tag team stuff. Right, guys, I'm going to let you go. JJ says, very quickly, I don't have the upgrade package yet, so I know Shadow gets some hate, but I had GeForce Now in the top tier at 20 a month, and the library limits the reason I pay a little more for Shadow. Yep, of course, that's the other thing, JJ. Absolutely right. If you are paying for Shadow, you can install any games you want. You're still limited by hard drive space, don't forget, guys, which you're not when it comes to paying for a subscription like GeForce. And it's also, I think, am I right in saying, JJ, it's a 2070 card, which is still amazing, but you're not going to be able to tick those ultras like I do, ultra quality everything when I'm doing my 3080. Anyway, let's get the hell out of here. Thank you so much, guys. Where are we? Tomorrow's Thursday. We're going to fire up PlayStation Plus Premium tomorrow. We'll have a look at that and see what you guys think of that service. Have a fantastic Wednesday, and I will see you all on the marrow, as they used to say in farming parlance. I'm sure they never did. Take care, guys. Rock out. Welcome to Rokk Around the Clock, daily cloud gaming news live at the